I got hooked up with this guild development system, build up the organization, and my own power levels up too. Over the past 20 years, I've groomed my mentor into the head honcho position, turned a few junior apprentices from average Joes with zero potential into key players who can hold their own. Me? I've stuck to my role as the gifted but stuck-at-novice-level washout senior apprentice, cheerfully handing out resources to the younger ones day in and day out. Ding. Guild overall strength hits level 6. Host rewarded with power boost to transcendence tier. Hearing that ping in my head, I finally let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. In this world right now, nobody should be able to stand in my way. But when they dragged me into the judgment hall, I was totally blindsided. Alex Reed, do you admit your guilt? Up on the high seat, Victoria Hayes' voice cut like a frozen blade, stabbing right into my chest. My mentor, the woman who'd once spoken to me with such warmth, was now looking down at me like I was some insignificant bug. I don't know what you're talking about, I said, lifting my head, my throat tight. Please, mentor, explain. Don't play dumb. A sharp yell came from the side. I turned to see Emily Carter, my third junior apprentice. Her eyes were wide with fury, her pretty face twisted in anger, her blade pointed straight at my throat. Last night, you ambushed Dylan, and you're in league with the Dark Coven. We've got solid proof. My mouth twitched. This girl was just spouting nonsense. And last night, I was holed up in my quarters, meditating and clamping down on my power to keep it hidden. What did that have to do with me? Opening her mouth and letting garbage fly out? Senior brother. A weak voice interrupted my thoughts. The crowd parted, and Dylan Brooks was helped forward by two apprentices. His white shirt was stained with blood, his face pale as a ghost, his right shoulder bandaged with dark red seeping through. When he saw me, he visibly flinched, fear flashing in his eyes. Dylan, what happened to you? I started to step forward instinctively. Stay back. Sophia Grant, my second junior apprentice, blocked me with her blade, the tip almost at my neck. You trying to finish the job? I froze, staring in disbelief at these familiar faces. Sophia, the girl who'd once cried in my arms about how hard her training was. Emily, the one always bugging me to teach her alchemy. And my gaze swept the hall, every face filled with disgust and rage. The junior apprentices who'd once smiled at me like sunshine now stared like I was filth. Where's the evidence? I asked, sensing something was way off, even if I didn't know what. Dylan coughed weakly twice, pulling a dark medallion from his pocket. It was etched with a gruesome skull, the mark of the Shadow Covenant. This was found in your room. He coughed up blood, and the hall erupted in sympathetic gasps. I stared at that medallion, my blood turning cold. In my room? My place is bare bones, no decorations. How could something like that hide there without me noticing? Last night in my quarters, did someone sneak in while I was meditating? And this? Olivia Kane, my fourth junior apprentice, stepped up and tossed down a packet of powder. Soulbreaker toxin, enough to take out an adept-level practitioner, pulled from under your pillow. I looked at the packet on the floor and almost laughed. Such clumsy framing, but these idiots were buying it? No. Maybe it was on purpose? The thought hit me like a ton of bricks. Alex Reed, what do you have to say? I looked up at the woman I'd once been willing to die for. 5 years ago in Crimson Canyon, I took a fatal hit for her, nearly bought the farm. Last year, when her training backfired, I stayed up 3 days straight channeling energy to stabilize her. Mentor, my voice rasped. You really don't trust me? Victoria's eyes flickered, but she went cold again fast. Dylan, next to her, started coughing violently, blood trickling from his mouth. Mentor, he whispered weakly. Maybe senior brother just had a moment of weakness. Dylan's too kind-hearted. Emily steadied him, turning to glare at me. Traitors like him deserve the worst. Yeah, strip his powers. Kick him out of the guild. Should just end him. Cut him first. What? Cut me? Who was that twisted? My eyes landed on the woman yelling loudest, her face pockmarked. Oh, right, she'd hit on me before? Damn, this magical world is full of these entitled types. Alex Reed. Victoria stood, sweeping her sleeve. As senior apprentice, colluding with the dark side, harming your own. Unforgivable. Today, we strip your powers and expel you from Blue Ridge Guild. I laughed. It grew louder, turning into a roar that shook the hall's beams. Everyone stared like I was nuts. Colluding with the dark side, harming my own. I stopped. Victoria Hayes, remember Crimson Canyon 5 years back? She frowned slightly. You were cornered by 3 Dark Lords. I wrecked my foundation, saving you. I stepped forward, the binding chains rattling on my wrists. Sophia, when you failed your breakthrough, who used his life essence to rebuild your core? Sophia paled, her sword hand shaking. Emily, when your family got wiped out, who crossed states to avenge them? I turned to my once clingy third junior. You knelt and swore eternal gratitude. Now what? Emily bit her lip, looking away. And all of you, I scanned the room, everyone, who hasn't benefited from me? Who hasn't gotten my guidance? Now, over a junk medallion and some mystery powder, you're stripping my powers. The hall went silent as a grave. Insolent, Victoria barked, the whole judgment hall trembling like it might crumble under her fury. Evidence is ironclad, and you dare argue. She said coldly, Dylan's my direct protege. Would he frame you? I looked at Dylan hiding behind Victoria. He kept his head down, but I caught a faint smirk. I got it. This kid, in the guild only a year and a half, gifted as hell, mentor's favorite. These past 2 years, I've been focused on building the guild, staying out of sight, so they figure they don't need me anymore. I should have seen it. The subtle exclusions, the cooling attitudes, the weird rumors, all leading to this. Sophia, enforce the rules. Victoria ordered. Sophia advanced with her blade, aiming at my core. Senior brother, don't blame me. I looked at this apprentice who'd once sobbed in my arms, now eyes full of ice. 20 years. I'd given 20 years to Blue Ridge Guild, and this is what I get, betrayed by everyone. Fine then, screw this stupid system and its guild-boosting quest. I'm done today. Boom! A terrifying aura exploded from me, the binding chains turning to dust. Sophia's blade stopped inches from my core, unable to budge. What? Victoria shot up. How? You're only novice level? You've been hiding your strength. Sophia's eyes widened in shock. But even if you're hiding, Sophia sneered suddenly, her blade bursting with blinding chill. From your progress these years, you're at best peak novice. Blue energy swirled around her, the hall's temperature plummeting, frost coating the floor. I watched the faint adept projection above her head, a sign she couldn't fully control it yet. Fresh breakthrough. She pushed her pressure to max, her hair and lashes frosting over like an ice queen. See this? Her blade trembled, drawing a thin bloodline on my throat. 3 days ago, with Dylan's help, I hit adept level. She leaned in, her cold breath on my skin. Now you're just a bug to me. The hall filled with awed murmurs. Emily clapped excitedly. Sophia's amazing. The other juniors looked on with admiration, like they could already see me powerless. Victoria sat back, a satisfied curve to her lips. Sophia, enough talk. Once we take him down, extract his gifted core, that kind of talent doesn't belong to trash like him. Dylan, once we pull this traitor's core, I'll graft it to you. Then you'll be a once-in-a-generation prodigy in this realm. Thanks, mentor. Dylan's call was all syrupy sweet. I caught his fingers, hidden in his sleeve, hooking Victoria's belt, and this usually dignified mentor let his hand linger ambiguously at her waist. Sophia pouted suddenly. Mentor, you're playing favorites. You promised me first. She stopped mid-sentence, but her eyes clung to Dylan with longing. That's when I noticed the faint red marks on her neck, clear signs of recent intimacy. I laughed bitterly, my senses sweeping over the three, picking up mingled energies in their systems. Victoria Hayes's core hummed with Dylan's masculine energy, while Sophia's channels flowed with power source from him. This wasn't mentorship, it was. What a pair of cheats. My voice was like Arctic wind. Victoria, as guild leader, dual cultivating with an apprentice? Sophia, you ran about hating dark practitioners, but you're using forbidden bonding arts. Interesting, but it's all about stealing my gifted core, isn't it? Spouting righteousness, but really just boosting your lover's talent. Who knows what kind of wild stuff goes on behind closed doors? The judgment hall erupted in uproar. Elders' faces changed, the second elder slamming the table. Leader, is this true? Victoria flushed, suddenly yanking open her collar to reveal pale shoulder skin, marked with a bonding seal linked to Dylan's aura. So what if it is? Dylan's got an ancient dual affinity body. Pairing with him equals centuries of training. She even hugged his neck right there. But does that change your dark illusion? You dark types deserve to be carved up by us righteous folk. This is a disaster. Sigh. In hall, the third elder sighed deeply, his staff clattering to the floor. The guild's reputation ruined. I eyed these hypocritical suits coldly. They were no different from Victoria and her crew. Victoria's pink bonding seal gleamed under the hall's eternal lights, matching the one on Dylan's collarbone perfectly. A top-tier dual bond, sharing power and lifespan. With Victoria's master-level strength, she could constantly feed back to that scum Dylan through the seal. Man, playing for keeps must be true love. Sophia, shut him up. Dylan's probably getting impatient. Take down this dark practitioner. Victoria que mandith. Yes, Minter, Sophia replied respectfully, turning with cruel glee in her eyes. Senior brother, you know the gap between adept and novice? It's like, she shifted her stance. Heaven and earth. Frost moon technique, 7th form. Ice lockdown. Where a blade passed, air froze into shards. She put everything into this strike, clearly aiming to cripple me for good. I even saw her lips curve in victory. Crack! A sharp shatter echoed through the hall. Sophia's smile froze. She looked down in disbelief at her prized ice blade, famed for shattering artifacts, now crumbling inch by inch against my throat like it had hit unbreakable steel. That's your adept power? I blew lightly, and the flying shards reversed, encasing Sophia in ice. Only her head stuck out, her shocked face looking ridiculous. The hall went dead quiet. I reached out, flicking her frozen nose. Junior sister, know how idiots die? Boom! The ice exploded, sending her flying like a rag doll, smashing through 3 pillars before stopping. Her elegant white outfit was bloodied and dusty, her pampered cheek gashed deep by debris. Just a bug. I walked toward her slowly, each step shaking the ground. Sophia struggled to rise, then spat blood. Horror hit her. She felt cracks in her hard-earned adept core. No. This can't be. She shook, all arrogance gone. You even lost guild tournaments on purpose. To you, I crouched, lifting her chin to meet my eyes. Idiot, you think I help you all for free because I'm dumb? Victoria's heart raced. She couldn't sense my true level anymore. But as the top master, a little shock wouldn't make her back down. Alex, didn't know you'd reached adept already, but that's just your gifted core at work. If Dylan had it, he'd hit master way sooner, wasted on you. Yeah, sure, whatever you say. In that case, I'll just go along with it, right? I didn't look at her, glancing at Sophia on the ground. Her pupils shrank, finally getting it. Now, time to settle accounts. A golden flame sparked at my fingertip. Starting with you framing me for dark eyes? Sophia tried to stand, but I grabbed her from afar, suspending her in midair. Junior sister, when you failed your breakthrough, veins shattered. Who burned his life essence to save you? I asked coldly. As senior brother. Sophia paled, fear finally showing. Calling me that now. I sneered. If Dylan's so great, let him save you. Stop. Victoria Roth. Sophia was her close companion. Dylan was too intense sometimes, and Sophia would step in. Alex, touch her, and I'll make you wish you were dead. Victoria's eyes blazed, her master-level pressure rolling like a tsunami. I chuckled, the golden flame surging into a dragon coiling around Sophia's neck, the heat drawing pained whimpers. Victoria, think I'm still that pushover from back then? I tilted my head, smile chilling. You say Dylan's stronger, let him step up. Why is he cowering behind you? Victoria's face darkened, her hands forming seals, an icy blue blade energy slicing toward my throat. I didn't blink, just waved it away, shattering it midair. Impossible. Her pupils contracted. You're only adept. You have a relic? Fine, fine. Alex, you claim I'm your most respected mentor, but you hid a relic? You treacherous scum. I should have ended you as a baby. By the end, she was shrieking hysterically. My biggest regret is picking you up from that snowdrift. You stray mutt. Relic. Speaking of relics, yeah, I've got plenty. I flipped my hand, treasures floating in my palm, their glow lighting the hall. This? No way. An elder jumped up, beard quivering. That's the ninefold mystic tower? Lost since ancient times, our guild's ultimate artifact. Hold on. The training elder's eyes bulged, voice shaking. That red vein one. Could it be the legendary Blaze, Inferno Blade? From the flame, sovereign 1,000 years ago. The alchemy had knocked over his desk. Nether soul, orb, revives the dead, heals anything. Where'd you get it? The oldest elder spat blood, pointing at the chaos wreathed scroll. Void Genesis scripture. Our founder's original handwriting. Missing for 3 millennia. The hall fell silent, greed twisting every elder's face. Victoria stumbled back, lips trembling as a horrifying realization dawned. But the arrow was loosed. Even with relics, without real foundation, I couldn't beat her. Her eyes turned greedy. As her apprentice, these should be hers anyway. Minter, hurry, I want them. Dylan's eyes locked on the treasures, his whine nauseating. Want them that bad? My lip curled. Trade your life then. I clenched my right hand, a clear crack sounding from Sophia's core. Ah, she screamed piercingly, her powers vanishing in an instant. You're dead. Alex has gone dark, everyone. Join me in taking him down. Victoria was clever, stirring them up to test the waters. But nobody's dumb. They waited for some fool to go first. Sophia. Alex, I'll kill you. Emily yelped, charging with her blade. Man, others lack guts, but you're rushing in? Junior sister, what's the hurry? I dodged easily, grabbing her throat. Remember when your family was massacred? Who avenged them? You knelt, swearing eternal thanks now. Let go. Let go. I grinned darkly, sending energy into her. You like playing victim? Taste your channels reversing. Ah. Emily's scream topped Sophia's, her body racked with agony that could break anyone. Minter, hurry and grab this thief for me. Dylan fretted, sure Victoria could handle me no problem. As for Sophia and Emily being ruined, whatever, the guild has plenty of young, pretty apprentices to train up fresh. All right, Dylan, I'll get him now. Victoria doted on Dylan. No way she'd refuse. Her eyes flashed cold, hands weaving signs, intricate runes appearing under her feet. It'd drain her mentally big time, but to control me, worth it. Nether binding array, activate. Instantly, black chains burst from the ground like vipers, wrapping my limbs, etched with ancient runes that suppressed energy, freezing the air solid. Dylan licked his lips smugly, his right hand boldly slipping under Victoria's collar. Senior brother, you didn't know? His other arm pulled her waist close. Every night you were in seclusion. The three of us were in the master suite. Can't handle that. This time, Victoria dropped the act, leaning into Dylan. Alex, you know that 9-petaled frost balloon you nearly died getting for me? It all went to spice up our sessions. Don't worry, you'll get your chance. Victoria hadn't caught my meaning yet. Next moment, my energy turned to solid golden flames, the ground cracking, magma surging up from below, lighting the hall red. The nether array shattered. This, impossible. Victoria shoved Dylan away, face ashen. How could the nether binding? Victoria's hair wild, looking deranged. She bit her tongue, spitting blood essence, shrieking, Elders heed me. This one's turned dark. Form the execution array. 36 elders in the hall chanted together, artifacts soaring, turning to streams of light assaulting me. The hall's energy drained dry, forming a terrifying vortex. I stood hands behind back, facing this world-ending barrage, uttering one word, freeze. Time seemed to stop. The elders froze mid-chant, eyes rolling in terror, bodies locked. Artifacts hung midair, the vortex stilled, even debris suspended. Victoria's face stuck between snarl and fear, her mind active but body rejected by the world, unresponsive. This, command reality, she screamed in her mind. Impossible. Only Ascension tier masters can. Could it be? The wildest guess formed, her soul quaking, regret flooding like waves. Olivia Kane, seeing things go south, bolted for the exit. Little Junior, where to? I grabbed from afar, yanking her back to crash at my feet. Senior brother, mercy. Olivia knelt instantly, tears flowing. I was forced. It was Minter and Dylan making me fake evidence. Oh, I crouched, lifting her chin. Then who planted the soul breaker under my pillow? It was. Olivia's eyes darted, then a poison dart shot from her sleeve. Ting! It stopped an inch from my brow. I shook my head disappointedly. Little Junior, you let me down? One palm to her core, stripping all her power. No, Olivia bailed desperately. Collapsing. I turned to the remaining apprentices, who were terrified, kneeling and begging. Senior brother, spare us. We were deceived. Deceived? Betrayal is betrayal, death. My roar turned the hall's apprentices to mist in an instant. Alex, how dare you? Victoria's cry was heartbroken. These were the guild's future. Minter, patience. I sneered, grabbing Dylan from behind a pillar. Let's see who's the real traitor. What are you doing? Victoria panicked suddenly. Dylan was her beloved. If ruined, she wouldn't want to live. Soul search, I said curtly, pressing my hand to his head. No, Minter, save me. Dylan was terrified, but it was too late. My mind invaded his, extracting memories, projecting them midair. Clear as day, Dylan sneaking out at night, meeting Shadow Covenant envoys, taking the medallion and toxin, planting them in my room per Victoria's orders. Impossible. Victoria blanched. Illusion. Illusion. I mocked. How about this? Memories continued. Shifting to Victoria's private chamber, Dylan sneaking in, her initial resistance turning to full immersion. Then scenes too raw for the hall, especially Victoria's stark contrast. The hall went deathly quiet. Now who's the traitor? I asked coldly. Victoria ashen, but suddenly bit her tongue again, blood spraying her wrist bracelet. It blazed with crimson light, breaking my hold. Alex, you forced this. Her face aged decades instantly. Black hair, graying visibly. She burned lifespan to awaken the guild's ultimate relic, the Void Radiance Band. The hall shook violently, blood-red beams erupting from the band. Each beam packed an ascension tier punch, twisting space where it passed. D. Victoria screeched hysterically, bleeding from every orifice. I'll scatter your soul. 72 beams wove a net, engulfing me. The ground collapsed under the energy, the judgment hall reduced to powder in the cataclysm. Distant elders spat blood, flung back by ripples alone. Dylan was hurled far but laughed madly. Minter used the guild relic. You're done. Dust clear, my spot a bottomless crater. It's over. Victoria knelt weakly, utterly spent. That strike burned a millennium of life. She was at death's door. Is it? My voice came from behind. Victoria schadet, turning stiffly. I stood unharmed, toying with the Void Radiance Band. Minter using my band. Guess it's time to return it. No, that was the old leader's. Victoria tried to resist, but I casually pocketed her. Nonsense. I left it with you for safekeeping. Puffed. Victoria spat heart blood from rage, slumping. Her trembling finger pointed. You. Minter. Dylan crawled toward her. Your turn soon. I stomp his back. Like playing weak? Now you'll be weak forever. My foot crushed down, the impact leaving him shattered in ways that echoed through the ruins, drawing in human screams. No, Victoria's eyes split with rage, her precious apprentice ruined. Alex, you deserve death. Deserve. My lip curled. I brought my hands together, slicing lightly. Dylan's legs severed clean while what was left. Alex, ah. Victoria's eyes bled, powerless, her heart fracturing. Can't take it. We're just getting started. I turned it into a grim game, using energy like a brush on Dylan's form as canvas, carving words one stroke at a time. His chest bloomed with raw wounds, forming a bloody scum. His back etched poison, bone deep. Victoria lunged madly, but my pressure pinned her, forcing her to watch her, Dylan, turn to a bloodied mess. See, your prized apprentice is so devoted. I admire the scene. Knows you like poetry. Here's a self-composed verse. Victoria broke, kneeling and banging her head. Please, kill me. Spare Dylan. Kill you. I shook my head. Where's the fun? After toying a while, I grew bored, stomping Dylan's head. It burst like overripe fruit. Victoria's tears dried. She regretted provoking this madman. With Dylan gone, she just wanted to join him. Quite the devoted pair. Don't worry, your Dylan's fine. My words lit her eyes with desperate hope. Glancing aside, I reached into the void. Space rippled, and a man reeking of dark energy stumbled out. Dylan. Victoria stared at his face, identical to her beloved. Useless fool. The man cursed, then eyed me. Fellow practitioner, didn't expect another ascension master. He adjusted his robe, dark aura surging, his handsome features twisting with black veins. I'm Victor Shade, Lord of the Shadow Covenant. This body was just one of my 3,000 clones. Victoria reeled like struck by lightning, crawling to clutch his hem. Dylan, back off. Victor flicked his sleeve, dark energy flinging her yards away to crash into rubble, vomiting blood. He dusted the spot disdainfully. A mere vessel dares touch me? No. Impossible. Victoria shook her head. You promised we'd ascend together. Idiot. Victor laughed, the sound shaking the peak. You think I want trash like you? His fingers shot black light. Hundreds of scenes appearing midair, all different-faced Dylans entangled with women from various orders. See, I've got 2,999 more clones like this. Victor forced her eyes open cruelly. You're the lowest vessel, too filthy even for harvesting. Victoria's pupils shrank, the scenes showing. Dylan bathing with 7 Mystic Een Order elders, Dylan flirting with a Harmony Sect Saintess, even Dylan in brothels surrounded. Worst, all within the last year. While she drained herself healing Dylan in her quarters, he was elsewhere carousing, with who knows how many clones. Ah! Victoria's inhuman scream echoed, black blood gushing from her orifices. Her millennium honed while shattered, her dark hair turning white instantly. Victor ignored her, turning to me with a bow. Since you're Ascension tier, why bother with these bugs? Join the Shadow Covenant. Join the Shadow Covenant. I stroked the bloodied Void Radiance Band, chuckling. With a loser who relies on clones for harvesting? Victor's smile froze, his aura boiling. What did you say? I said, my fingertip flame surged. You're not even fit to guard my door. The mountain fell silent. Victor's face twisted visibly, his facade cracking. Fine. Very well. He ripped his robe, revealing rune-covered flesh. I'm late ascension. Killing you's like swatting a fly. Dark aura formed 9 black serpents roaring skyward, each radiating ascension pressure. Distant elders burst from the mere shockwave. See? Victor cackled, summoning a bloodbone sword. This is real power. You fresh ascension. His words cut off, face freezing. I just raised my right hand. The 9 serpents wailed, twisting midair into smoke. Impossible. Victor powered up the sword in a frenzy. Blood river. Too noisy. I snapped my fingers. Crack. The immortal slaying dark relic shattered like glass. Victor finally sensed doom, trying to rip space and flee, but the realm was sealed by a greater force. Late ascension? I approached, golden lotuses blooming underfoot. Who said? I am ascension. Truth reflected in Victor's eyes. Behind me, faint triple heavenly gates shimmered. That was transcendence tier phenomenon. You. His runes cracked. This world clearly heaven's way is broken. No one can break to transcendence. I pressed his crown. Perseverance and effort beyond a loser's imagination. Soul search activated. Victor screamed, his 3,000 clones' memories flooding in. Over a century, he'd harvested essence from Order women, turning them into breakthrough fuel with backlash curses planted. No. Mercy. Victor's plea stopped. I crushed his spirit, drawing the memory threads to locate the other 2,000 clones. Distant, Victoria's mad laughter rang as she danced with Dylan's headless form. Patience. I whispered to the void. You'll reunite soon. Storm clouds parted above, revealing a bloodshot giant eye. Heaven's watcher sensing transcendence. I just shushed it. The eye trembled and closed. With a lift of my right hand, Sophia, Emily, and Olivia, the 3 betrayers flew over. I'd shielded them earlier, otherwise they'd be gone. I approached the deranged Victoria. Minter, now we can talk properly. Open wide. At my command, they complied, for pills instantly healing all physical wounds, though power stayed stripped. Victoria's vacant eyes focused, seeing me, tears streaming. Alex, I was wrong. She reached tremblingly for my hem. All you've done for me. I remember, it was Dylan deceiving me. Sophia stumbled over, clutching my leg. Brother, it was that beast Dylan forcing me. Deep down, I've always... Shut it. A light stomp pinned them with invisible force. Emily ripped her shirt, baring skin. Alex, look, the purity mark you gave me is still here. Olivia shrieked. Brother, Emily's is fake. Mine's real. How entertaining. I crouched eye level. You think I saved you out of old feelings? Victoria's eyes sparked hope. Alex, after all. Wrong. Totally wrong. You lop along where your kind thrives. Victoria blanched, realizing, shaking like a leaf. No. Alex, you can't do this to your mentor. I snapped, pink chains coiling their necks. Why not? Weren't you all about indulgence? Olivia shook her head wildly, hair messy. Brother, I was wrong. I'll be your servant. Anything, just not there. Servant, I scoffed. You qualify? Emily tried to end it, but the chains backlashed, making her spit blood. Want death? I gripped her chin. Don't worry. I'll ensure long lives, savoring this blessing. Sophia slumped, a foul puddle forming. We were betrothed from childhood. Betrothal? You're tainted. As I drew the array, teleport runes glowed beneath them. Wait. Victoria lunged for my leg. I'll be your vessel. You've always... I kicked her into the array. Save it, old hag. That night, the Velvet Lounge was lit up festive. I sat in the top-floor suite, watching the crowd below surge. Every bum in town clutched my handed-out credits, queuing at the 4 new star rooms. Mr. Reed, your mentor. Ahem, Victoria's handled 20 clients already. The Madame fawned, passing the ledger. No surprise from a former master. Stamina's top-notch. I sipped tea, gazing at the moon. Only 20? So few? Folks might think my mentors washed up it, at least 100 each. Victoria's the wildest, double hers. That's making the most of it. I chuckled, draining my cup. 20 years of true dedication, repaid with betrayal. The path to power, ultimately solitary. Story complete.